cut through one of the LED lights. So I called Michael to come up and fix the LED light. So I'm underneath the staircase with Michael. Tyler, our maintenance man, is on top of the drum booth. Some of the rocks fell off of so he had to put some these fake rocks up. Anyhow, so I'm under the staircase. When I come back out of the staircase, I get up off the floor, and there's this guy standing center stage talking to Tyler. And I thought it was Tyler's buddy. The guy's probably late 20s, built like, he's big biceps, strong-looking burr haircut. And he's like talking to Tyler, and I'm just talking to Michael, and then I hear the guy get aggressive, right? And then he says, well, I just need a job, man. Tyler goes, well, okay, fill out an application. I did 2 months ago. Nobody's called me. I need a job. And I'm like, whoa, this is not Tyler's friend. And what is he doing standing center stage right now?
Yeah.
And Michael just kind of looks up with his headlight lamp on like, whoa. And I'm like, okay. And Tyler kept looking at the rocks. He goes, no, I need a job. Are you hearing me? He goes, and Tyler don't put any, he don't sugarcoat it.
No, he doesn't.
He's straight back at you.
Yeah.
I'm like, uh-oh. Because Tyler's being very straight with him, and this guy's getting aggressive. So he goes, look, dude, I ain't got time to go look through your applications. We're not hiring right now. I've got work to do. How did you get in here? He goes, I went in that bathroom up there and to pee, and I just came through this other door, and I saw y'all up here. Okay, well, you can't be up here, and I'll look through the application. He said, what's your last name? He goes, well, why in the HE double hockey sticks you need to know? And he goes, so I can look up your application. So he told him his name, and then he got something else. He got kind of started walking towards Tyler, and Tyler was still being very firm, and I'm like, oh. So I grabbed Reba, went to my dressing room, got my gun, came back out, and the kid was off of the stage, standing at the front of the stage in the aisle, still talking strongly back towards the stage, and I had my phone out, my gun in my pocket, and I'm like, he's like, what are you doing? Are you calling the cops? I said, yes, sir. Yes, I am. Why are you calling the cops? I said, because you're getting very aggressive, and I don't know what's about to happen. And so he started backing up the aisle a little bit, and he goes, oh, yeah, well, you're built like a lesbian. I'm like, what? What does that mean? What does that mean? But I guess that was his, your mama's ugly, and my daddy can beat up your daddy. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, that was your, I'll show you, you're built like a lesbian. I'm like, oh. I looked at Tyler, I'm like, is he talking to me or you?
Well, Tyler.
I mean,
he goes, I don't know. I don't know. So then the guy, he just kind of backs up the aisle the whole time. I'm on with 911. I said, there's a guy in here. He's getting aggressive. I want him out of the theater because he's freaking me out a little bit.
yeah.
So he gets to the back of the building, he, hollers, F you, and he walks out into the lobby. So I'm talking to dispatch, and I'm walking up to the lobby. And I kind of peek around. I'm like, is he gone? And somebody said, no, he's at the box office window. And so I just kind of stood there, and I was trying to look around without him seeing me. And I'm telling the cop, yeah, he's still in the lobby. He's at the window. And then Kelly opens up the box office door, the security door,
Yeah.
and says, Clay, did you tell this guy he could have a free T-shirt? I'm like, what? What guy? She goes, that guy. I'm like, no, I just called the cops on the guy. Why would I give him a free T-shirt? I said, who told him he could get a free T-shirt? She goes, he just said that country guy in there said I could have a T-shirt. I'm like, who? He goes, the country guy on the stage in there said I could have a free T-shirt. So I see him walk out the door. So I'm on with the cops. He walks out, and then he goes into Silver Spur.
Oh no.
I know, because I know there's just women. There's just that it's all women that work there. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, hey, the guy just went into Silver Spur, and there's just women that work in there. So directly a cop pulls up over there, and I stick my head out my lobby door. He sees me, and he's like, he puts his hands up. I'm like, I'm pointing. He's in Silver Spur. Cop goes in there, 5 minutes go by. I'm watching. He's still in there. And I told RP, I'm like, I can't believe they haven't called for backup by now. He's been in there a long time. Well, 60 seconds later, another cop car pulls in. Another 5-10 minutes goes by. The guy walks out of Silver Spur. The 2 cops walk out behind him, and they just stand there, and the guy walks towards the strip. And he takes a right like he's going to go past Ozark Land,
Yeah.
and he stops. And I see him turn back towards the cops. He's about 20, 30 yards, and I can just see hand motions like he's cussing at them, right? You know, saying stuff, mouthing them. And I told RP, I'm like, oh, dude, you just need to keep walking. You know, just keep walking. They've let you go.
Just go.
Keep walking. He keeps standing there. All of a sudden, this other dude walks up. A black guy walks up, and he acts like he knows him, and they're talking. And he points at the cops. I see him pointing at the cops, and then he puts his hands up behind his head like this. Oh yeah, you know, I don't know. Like, oh yeah, you want to arrest me? You know.
Yeah.
And then he starts walking, turns around, and comes back this way towards the theater, and he's still mouthing it. And all of a sudden, I see both cops go, "Hey!" They'd had enough, you know.
Yeah.
So then they walk up there to the sidewalk and get him and handcuff him, take him over the car. I'm like, dude could have just walked off, but he had to keep. I don't know what he was saying, but
man.
So, about another few minutes come by, and the cop walks back to the lobby. He said, "Hey, Clay, what's going on?" I said, "Hey," I said, so what happened? So I told him the whole story. He said the guy said he just came in to look. He was just coming in looking for a job. I said, "Well, yeah, but let me explain to you how it all went down." He goes, "Oh." I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, do you want to file charge? You know, you want to press charges to start peace disturbance and trespassing?" I said, "No, I don't want to jam the guy up. I just want him out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get the guy arrested. I said, I went and got my gun, and I called y'all because I didn't want to have to shoot anybody today."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And the guy was scaring me.
Because, I mean, he was being aggressive for
Very
no
aggressive.
reason.
He goes, "Okay, well, we won't press. If you don't want to press," I said, "No, I don't want to press charges. I just, want him out of here." So, that was the end. That was my story of the week.
There you go.
Isn't that wild?
There it is.
You just
It is wild. You never
just
know.
never know.
Right. And for the record, Clay, I don't think you're built like a lesbian.
Thanks. Thanks, Kevin.
There's your quote of the week.